Hey all, it's me, Jasmine Azure. It's been a while, I know. But today I'm going to be finally talking about Hasbin Hotel. Not Hasbin Hotel. Already messing up. Helluva Boss, Season 2, Episode 8, Full Moon. Finally getting to it. It was released on the 1st of June. Pride Month, actually. Oh yeah, I have a little rainbow, but it covers the name, so there's the rainbow. Let me move it. There. There's the rainbow. Ugh, wait, let me change it again. Move it a bit more. There we go. That's better. Much better. So it's Pride Month, and I still think it's funny, or the irony of it, that on the 1st of June they released this episode where the main situationship, a same-sex pairing situationship, comes to an end. First of Pride Month for the LGBT community, a same-sex situationship ends. So, getting straight into the episode, there is our warning, right? I have an overlay here, but I just want you to see the warning. Okay? The warning is important to see. Also for the switching light image slideshow thing I have going on here, it's Ace and Arrow. Those are like my LGBT identity, or whatever, however you put it. I know that there's like a yellow, white, bluish one that is supposed to be for Ace and Arrow. It's like a combined of the two. I don't like it. That's why I have this. Just a slideshow of Ace and Arrow. And there's the Ace one there, and then Ace Arrow. Just like a slideshow of all of that. Because I don't like the 2-in-1 Ace Arrow flag that they've got. I don't like it. So that's why the slideshow is there. Alright, time to put on this little overlay and pressing play. See this part? The like little teardrops coming down his eyes, like the mascara kind of coming down his eyes like that. We see in like the next scene, they're not there. So I think this is just like a metaphorical imagery, because this is his reflection. And what this instantly reminds me of is Ozzy's, because we know after Ozzy's, that like morning after, or the morning of, or the night of, as Stolas went home, drank himself into a stupor, and woke up on the floor the next morning. And the next morning, this is how he looked, with like the runny mascara down his face. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's just like a little kind of visual reference to that. Or at least that's what it made me think of when I saw that. But also, it's so sad that he's like, I won't listen to that voice that says I'm not good enough. Also, the fact that he says about like, I'll believe him, which makes the ending of this episode so depressing. When Stolas is basically like looking to Blitz for like this kind of like emotional wellness, in the sense like he's expecting Blitz to make him feel good, not just like in a physical sense, but in like an emotional sense, that like feeling desired, feeling wanted, that like if they ever talk and Stolas like, or Blitz is ever like, oh yeah, sure, you're grand, you're all right, you're good, you're fine, Stolas believes it. Like, so the idea that he's like holding on to him in that kind of a like emotional way, where he says I'll believe him, instead of that voice inside my head. And again, we know, like, I've seen this episode before, this isn't a reaction, I've seen it, so I know how this episode ends, and it's been a while, so you should have seen it too, is that he says, so the fact that he's here like, I'll believe whatever Blitz says, and I'll believe him over the voice in my head saying that I'm not good enough. The end of this episode, where Blitz just kind of followed after Stolas to yell at him about how awful he / all rich people are. he believes him. He's going to believe all these awful things that Blitz said, and it's going to stick with him. And that's heartbreaking because Stolas already has a negative, low opinion of himself, already has like a bad opinion of himself. Like, I've seen people say that like Blitz has self-loathing. Stolas also has self-loathing. Like, they both have self-worth issues. They just kind of go in the opposite direction. Like, Blitz's is very like self-destructive, whereas Stolas he's isolated. He doesn't have many connections. So that kind of means that he doesn't have like he doesn't have enough connections to destroy. You know what I mean? That's why he self-isolates. That's why he tries to walk away from Stolas or Blitz later on. They're like methods for coping with their self-loathing is in literally the opposite direction of each other. I watched a few other people talking videos about this episode, and it was TVC, the virtual celebrity. She actually was the one who pointed out that like Stolas or Blitz's calendar is full, right? Like, let me just temporarily take this off for a sec. Like, his schedule is full, and later on in this episode you actually see Stolas' schedule and it's practically empty. There's like 2 things on it, and Blitz's is full as hell. So it's literally showing, like visually showing and not telling you how, you know, Blitz has more connections and more things going on, and it's showing you how isolated and alone Stolas is. Oh god, this hang on, nope. See him tonight. Look how happy he is by the notion of it. He wants to see Stolas. He's looking forward to it. So why exactly was he avoiding Stolas last few times? Why? I don't know, like, I don't get it. Like, he's genuinely happy. Look at him, he's happy. He's like, see him tonight. All right. Like, he's so excited to see him. So I don't understand then why he was avoiding him the last few moons, I think. All right. It's been a while since he begged for attention. Also, switching into my angry chibi mode, I don't like that line. It's been a while since he's begged for attention. On some level, Blitz has got to know, from that line alone, he's got to know how much like power he has over Stolas. In order for him to say that, he has to know. And that annoys me, because we, the audience, know how like depressed and isolated Stolas is. Like, I genuinely think that Stolas is straight up clinically depressed, because we know that he takes pills and things. Like, I know they're called happy pills, but those are probably like this world's version of like antidepressants. So I don't like the fact that it's like, oh, it's been a while since he's begged for attention. It's like, Blitz, that's a real scummy thing. And I feel like even if, you know, we didn't have all the rest of the information about like Stolas being like clinically depressed or anything, I'd still find this disgusting, because it's very dismissive. It's very disrespectful. You know what? Like, I don't have the words to put it in, but I just don't like it. There's I was able to articulate this better before, when I was kind of like practicing what I wanted to say. I can't, it's not coming to mind right now, but I really just do not like that line. It shows on some level Blitz is aware of like how much power, like that he does have some level of power over Stolas. And like with this little evil little fucking smirk, it does imply he enjoys having this power over Stolas, which again could be like his whole shtick with the rich and the poor thing, right? For sure, that's probably it, for sure. But again, we, the audience, are aware that Stolas is clinically depressed, or at least, you know, very depressed, very alone, very isolated, or something. Oh, let me take a breath. So, like, it makes it worse. You know what I mean? Whereas from Blitz's side, he's only seen the little bit of power he has over a rich person. You know what I mean? Or he's only seen it in, like, the sexual sense. Regardless, I don't fucking like it. It's just mean and cruel in other senses. So, like, Blitz can F off for that alone.
Are we okay? Can't really say. I'm getting by.
Also, let me just take this off for a sec. Blitz is looking at the camera in this moment. He's looking the camera dead in the eye. This is like a fourth wall break. He's looking at us like, I don't know if we're okay. It's hard to say, honestly. Like, he's looking at us going, I don't know if me and Stolas are okay. Maybe not, probably not. Right there, the huge thing. And here's the thing. I don't really ship Blitz and Stolas, and there's a few reasons why. But part of the reasons why is that they've never been on the same page about anything. They've always had these different, what's the word I'm looking for? Perspectives on the exact same situations. And this song is spelling that out for us. The fact that Stolas is like, I will change things. And then Blitz is like, there's no need to change things. You know what I mean? Like, it's spelling it out for you if you didn't already realize that they've never been on the same page before. I wouldn't even say they're in the same book. If anything, they're not even in the same library. Never mind on the same page. They're in two different libraries. You know what I mean? And that could be an allegory for the whole rich and poor thing, sure. But, like, they've never been, for a single second, actually been on the same page. And that is a hugely bad thing for any relationship. You know what I mean? Even though, like, they're not actually a relationship, they're a situationship or whatever you call it. But for any relationship, even a situationship, never being on the same page is just damaging, basically, for any kind of relationship at all.
Just bring the rope and spikes.
I need to have a bottle of water. Oh, yeah, and I missed the important bit. The important bit being right here. Stolas is out of his antidepressants. AKA Angry GB again. Or, like, the closest I have to, like, an upset GB right now. Or Avatar, I should say Avatar, because I prefer saying Avatar to GB. Yeah, he's out of his antidepressants, so he has to go through this, like, horrible emotional situation later on in the night, and later on in this episode, without his medicine. Because that's ultimately what it is. It's medication for his probably depression.
We've got a nice arrangement, and it's working out just fine.
No, it isn't. It really isn't.
We'll keep it light. I'll fucking die alone if this goes bad when I...
Oh yeah, there's... Hang on, too far. One, there's Stolas' calendar. And there's like 3 things on there. So again, showing, not telling, the difference in their situation. Where Blitz is like, has plenty of people to like meet up with and things to do. Stolas has like 3 things in this month total. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's showing, not telling, the difference in their situations. Also, this moment where Stolas is like, I'll die alone if this goes wrong. We know from a previous episode where Blitz was saying to Luna that he's afraid of dying alone. And then here we have Stolas being like, if this goes wrong tonight, I'll effing die alone. So it goes to show that, like, ultimately they're both scared of the same thing, which is being alone / dying alone.
I'll fucking die alone if this goes bad when I...
Also, that poor imp. Whatever he's getting paid, he's not getting paid enough. Look at his face. Look at him, he's so done. He's like, his face is the definition of, I don't get paid enough for this. Stolas, you need to give this dude a raise. And by raise, I mean just like money, more money. Like, no more responsibility, it's just more money.
If this goes bad when I see him tonight. Am I doing something I can't take back? Relax. Would he want me if he was free?
Also, the face of anxiety and his tail is shaking too. But the bit where Stolas is like, would he want me if he were free?
And if he's only here as a prisoner, what kind of monster does that make me?
But again, it's coming back to Stolas's opinion of himself is like, if he won't be with me of his own free will, then what kind of monster does that make me? And again, end of this episode, Stolas gives Blitz the choice to stay or go. And Blitz yells at him, hunts him down and yells at him. But it basically confirms this moment for Stolas of what kind of monster does that make me. Later on, where Stolas like, the fact that you didn't even believe that I could have these feelings for you, that is answer enough. So this is now how Stolas feels about himself, that he's just a monster. Or at least by the end of this episode, he will feel like he's just a monster. Because as I said, what kind of monster does that make him?
My entire life's been written in stone.
My entire life has been written in stone. AKA Stolas has never had a choice. So the fact that he's been trying to give Blitz a choice by being like, you don't have to come if you don't want to. And Blitz has been taking that and going, yeah, alright, I won't show up then, I don't want to. You know what I mean? So the fact that someone like Stolas, who has no choice in his life at all, has been given Blitz a choice. Like, yes, there's the transactional thing, but that is like 1,000% Blitz's fault. He's the one who created the president for it. You know what I mean? The president's whatever. Like, he's the one who created the situation. And like, as I've heard someone say, Stolas is just matching Blitz's energy. That is essentially what's happened from beginning to end. Stolas has just been matching Blitz's energy. So where Blitz is thinking, oh, Stolas has all the power, he's all the control here, he's the one who can end it whenever he wants. We, the audience, know the one who's actually setting the tone is Blitz, and he's just not aware of that. But like, again, the fact that Stolas says, my entire life has been set in stone, so he has no choice in anything. And he's been giving Blitz choices. He's like, you don't have to go if you don't want to. That is a choice. And Blitz has been making his choice and not showing up. And hasn't received any consequence for that because it's a choice.
He taught me that I could choose.
Also, angry little chibi here, or Avatar. I don't like the fact that Stolas thinks that Blitz taught him that he could choose. 'Cause when in the hell did Blitz do that? And the answer is fucking never. The only thing Blitz did was fall out of a balcony, crashing straight into Stella's whole shindig, and saying, oh, I'm sorry, I fucked your husband, and then ran off. That was done purely because Blitz did not care about what the consequences for Stolas was gonna be. He didn't care that like what the consequences of Stolas would be, so he just said that, effed off, left. That wasn't Blitz teaching Stolas that he had a right to choose. That was Stolas, because like as the episode showed us, that episode where that happened showed us is that Stolas was in an abusive relationship with his quote-unquote wife, where she was at the very least verbal and emotionally abusive. And Stoltz was just in the routine of it. He was so used to it. Like, as we saw with the party bit where he was like grumbling and made like angry owl sounds. He didn't defend himself. He didn't stop it. He didn't turn around and leave. He didn't do any of those things. He was just going to stand there and take it and just grab the bottle and just drink himself into a stupor. That's all he was going to do about it. And then Blitz showed up and, all that happened. One, that was Blitz unknowingly setting the tone for their entire situationship. And two, that's that situation where what that ended up doing was it broke Stolas's routine of abuse, basically, and gave him like just like a spark enough of life that it made Stolas himself go, do you know what that is, Stella? That is the sound of a criffing divorce, or whatever he said, or effing divorce, whatever it was. Like, he tore the banner, it says, a divorce, right? That was Stolas that did that. That wasn't Blitz teaching him he could choose. That was Stolas. So I don't like the fact that Stolas here is crediting that to Blitz. Because Blitz, the only reason that happens is because Blitz did not care what the consequence of Stolas was going to be. Stolas was the one who actually went, you know what, that is the sound of a divorce. You know, he's the one who put his foot down, was like, that is a divorce. We are getting a divorce. I'm sick and tired and done with you. That's not, that. I don't like the fact that he's crediting Blitz for teaching him he could choose. Because that has, he didn't. Should have gotten myself a bottle of water before doing any of this. I'm already parched and I'm not even a quarter way through. I'm 1 minute and 58 minutes in. Fuck's sake, I need to hurry up.
He deserves the choice to stay or go, though it scares me to think what I'd lose.
And again, coming back to the choice, he has the choice to stay or go. You know, like, again, someone like Stolas never had a choice. He deserves the choice to stay or go. There you go. What was it? He said, come to your senses. This part. That right there, he is worthy of your love and trust. That, I think, is part of the reason why everything fell apart the way it did later on in the episode. Whereas he is worthy of your love and trust, right? So, I think part of the reason why it fell apart later is that Stolas thought that Blitz knew him enough / trusted him enough to know that he would never like take the grimoire, knowing how much Stolas's business hinges on it. So like he expected Stolas to trust him on that, or Stolas expected Blitz to trust him on that, and trust. So like it's kind of heartbreaking that like Stolas is here, like, he deserves your love and trust. He is worthy of your love and trust. And Blitz doesn't even like Stolas. As in he doesn't like him as a person. I don't know about any of the rest of it, but as a person, Blitz doesn't know Stolas. And every single time Blitz talks about Stolas, there's always a negative light. So I was like, oh, that rich fuck, I have no choice but to meet up with him now and fuck that rich privileged asshole and all this. Blitz only ever talks about Stolas to be negative, to talk bad about him. He doesn't have a good opinion of Stolas. Like, he doesn't have a good opinion of the rich in general. The only time he says anything about Stolas is to insult him. So that is another reason why I don't really like Blitz and Stolas, is because Blitz straight up doesn't have a good opinion of Stolas. Doesn't know anything about him, but straight up doesn't have a good opinion of him. I think if Stolas has any kind of Blitz, if Blitz has any kind of like kind regard or like good opinion of Stolas, it's only in the sense of he loves his daughter. That's it. Like, if he has that much, it'll be he loves his daughter. Which, given the fact that both Stolas and Blitz have had terrible fathers, that's at least something Blitz would appreciate. The fact that he's a good parent. Or at the very least that he's a loving, caring parent. Not particularly a good one, but a loving parent. It's just that bit where he's like, he is worthy of your love and trust. It's heartbreaking, especially considering how this ends. It's heartbreaking. Blitz shiver, I'm guessing in lust twice.
New beat.
And I'm guessing because, you know, ace, right? I'm asexual, so I fucked if I know any of this.
They're made of
Like,
real obsidian.
Oh, that's beautiful. But Stolas never really seemed into the bee.
and this part annoys me as well. Here, let me just angry. This part annoys me. The way he's like, he never seemed into them. It's like, did you not ask? Did you not talk? Like the fact that they haven't even talked about kinks and things. Like one thing about sex is like, in order for it to be like healthy and safe and things, is like you have to talk about them, right? So the fact that they've been doing this for months now, and Blitz clearly doesn't really know what Stolas is into. He's like he didn't seem into the beads. It's like, did you ask? Like maybe the way you're using them was not his thing, but like I don't know. But it just it doesn't just speak to a lack of communication. To me, it's so dangerous that they had this sexual thing going on, and there's clearly no communication, no like safety, anything going on. You know, like it's a bad sign when a sexual partner doesn't know what you like or enjoy sexually. And again, it could be just this, but like there's a few things about it that makes it seem like no, that just in general the other doesn't really know what they're into. Because like I genuinely think the only reason why they do half the things they do is because Blitz is just doing what he thinks Stolas wants, and Stolas is staying with the kinky stuff because he thinks that's what Blitz wants. Not to mention Stolas is very limited in sexual experience. His only experiences are Stella, which is he's a gay guy, so like he clearly didn't enjoy his one encounter with a woman, obviously not. And Blitz is being hyper kinky and hypersexual about it. So Blitz's experience, or not Blitz, Stolas' experience is literally from a 0 to 100. His stats are skewed as hell. Stolas doesn't know what he's into, and Blitz isn't aware of that. He's just assuming that Stolas is just a horny bird and he just happens to be into all of these things. You know? It's dangerous. It really is dangerous. It's part of the reason why, one, I don't like the ship, and two, I want Stolas to actually, like, this, I know they're not together, but the only way I can put it is this breakup and like find someone else. So if the like theory about like that bird, it becomes like a love interest for Stolas, I hope it does actually happen, and he's like a love interest for a while, because Stolas deserves to have a love interest that cares about him, knows him, wants to get to know him romantically, sexually. Like he like gets to learn what his preferences are, both romantically and sexually, because he's not in this mindset of with Blitz. He was into this at this mindset of like he had this skewered mindset where they were friends but they're not. Where Blitz asked him on a date, he didn't. You know, that sort of thing. I feel like once he's away from Stolas, and once Stolas is away from Blitz, and they're like skewered perspectives, he'll actually be able to explore his own wants and likes for a change. So I do think that healthy thing for them to happen to them is for Stolas, for at least somewhat, to get experience outside of Stolas, outside of Blitz, to get experience romantically and sexually outside of Blitz. That way, later on, because Stolas and Blitz are probably endgame, that way later on, Stolas can come back around and be like, you know what? I'm actually into this. I'm not into that. I am into this. I'm not into that. You know what I mean? Like, he'll actually know what his likes and preferences are and can actually talk about them. Because, like, right now, I don't think he knows what he likes. He's just going along with Stolas. He's just going along with Blitz. Stolas is just going along with Blitz and doesn't actually know what he likes. And the fact of the matter is, Blitz doesn't know what Stolas likes. Blitz doesn't know what Stolas likes either. And I will stand by that is dangerous. That has to be dangerous. Of course, that has to be dangerous. Literally, like a handful of episodes ago, they implied that they use bear traps. And Stolas and Blitz was saying an episode later when, like, Stolas getting carted off to the hospital. He's like, he can get hurt. Like, yeah, it's a sweet and sad and bittersweet moment in the moment, but it's dangerous, the fact that your sexual partner is unaware that you can get hurt, but in that moment physically, and then at the end of this episode learns that he can also get hurt emotionally. That's dangerous. Like, with a sexual partner, there has to be trust there, and clearly Blitz having such a skewed perspective on Stolas, believing he can't get hurt physically and he can't get hurt emotionally, that is incredibly dangerous. Stolas has been in danger this entire time, and I'm not saying like in the danger of death kind of thing, because we know that it's heavenly weapons that can kill Stolas. So he wasn't danger of death, but he was in danger of everything else, and that's not good.
Alrighty, not into the beads. I get it. Fancier then. We have some stylish blindfolds. Our new collection has.
And there's one moment there where what's his name, Fizz, brought his finger from Blitz's horn down to his neck and got a shiver out of Blitz.
Our new collection,
yeah, got a shiver out of him.
Has encrusted jewels.
And then he'll get another one of him here in a second when he flicks his neck. The speed. I doubt it. I feel like there's been several times where even Stolas is like, oh, okay, I guess we'll try it, just because it was Blitz. You know what I mean? That Stolas is saying yes things just because it's Blitz. And the fact that Blitz is like, oh yeah, that's that bit. His eyes.
They feel. They feel. They
Had it for a split second there.
You don't have to stay here with me.
What do you think Stolas' Blitz's face says here? Is this fear? Is this, oh no, he's throwing me away? What is this? Panicked, fearful? It does kind of give the impression of, oh, he's throwing me away. Like, he does seem that way, right? I don't know how to describe that face, but there is, again, the light in Blitz's eyes. And then the light in his eyes disappearing. I see the light in his eyes as kind of like him for a split second letting himself hope, and like he gets it. He understands that Stolas is being 1,000% serious, and then like his self-loathing kicks in. He's like, yeah, right, as if this is like a real confession. The depressing thing, and I don't think I've seen anyone else talk about this, but Stolas, I said it right this time. Stolas, during his confession, didn't say, I love you. He said, I care for you deeply. The first one in this quote-unquote situationship between these two, who actually used the words, I love you, was Blitz. The first time that these 3 words were uttered was by Blitz, and he wasn't even being serious about it. It was a joke. It was quote-unquote foreplay. It was playing a role. The first time these words are spoken between these two, in this sense, it's not real. It makes it tragic, and it makes it the next time these words come up between these two, it adds this kind of like edge to it regardless. I'd say all the drapes, like all the like curtains and things, I've seen theories. I think 3 of them are the divorce. These scenes are going to Stella, or like he's moving or something. And honestly, it better not be Stella. It better not be these are things that are going to Stella, because F that. Because she doesn't deserve half of these things, never mind so many of these things. The other is that he's moving, and then the third one I think is like this is Stolas' version of Blitz's like scribbling himself out of pictures. This is like Stolas' like elegant version of that. You know what I mean? It's his elegant version of not looking at things he doesn't want to see, sort of thing. Which, honestly, maybe it is that he's moving. I don't know why he would be moving. The only explanation I could come up with would be like he's trying to move closer to Via or something. I don't know. But this is like his childhood palace, basically. He's been here alone since he was a child. So I don't understand why he would be moving. But I don't know. I don't have an explanation for the curtains. But like,
these feelings about you that your first
it better not be Stella.
Always know what this is. What?
Also, something that is kind of playing into maybe this is Stolas' version of covering up things he doesn't want to look at.
That your first
in 2 pictures in a row, the curtain things are deliberately angled so that way you can still see Via, as in Octavia. Yeah, like there she is. So the it's deliberately angled that you can only see her. Then
that's enough.
There again, it was deliberately angled that you can only see Via. So that kind of plays into
what? To know what this is. What? That your first instinct is that it's
what the hell is Blitz talking about here? What the fuck did Stolas put Blitz through? Every situation so far has been like out of either their controls or has been mostly caused by Blitz. Like, the reason why they're in the situationship in the first place is Blitz, and he, unknowingly for his part, set the theme of transactional sex. Take book, give book, whatever. You know? He's the one who unintentionally set that precedent. Then the only other thing I could think of that he could mean by put me through is the Aussie thing, but that's still mostly Blitz's fault. Because Blitz was the one who asked Stolas out on a fake date. You know, like, they wouldn't have been there if Blitz hadn't been spying on the M&Ms for some goddamn reason. And then the only other thing would be, you know, Stolas getting captured by Stryker. Blitz wasn't even there for that. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell is Blitz talking about here when he says everything you've put me through? Stolas hasn't done jack shit to you. The only real thing could be the whole Blitz feeling scared about the whole losing the book to Stolas thing. And therefore losing, like, his livelihood. But the thing is, if that was the case, he wouldn't skipped out on months of their agreement. You know what I mean? Like, if he was genuinely scared Stolas was gonna take the book away, why skip months? You know what I mean? On some level, he was aware that Stolas wouldn't just take. One, Stolas did not dismiss him, and he didn't treat him like a butler imp. This is pure Blitz projecting. It really is. It's pure pure projection on Blitz's part. The way that, like, pillar, because that was a pillar passing through, but, like, it looked like it was a person who maybe, like, had their arms folded.
Because we're smaller and not as important.
Not that bit further.
Oh, fucks think you can do this every time.
You royal fucks think you can do this every time. On. That I've seen, like, a theory going around that Blitz must have had a situationship before with a different royal before this. And honestly, this right here is making me think that theory holds some water. Because you royal fucks do this every time. it makes me genuinely think he must have had a situation like that before, where a royal used him for sex, or maybe something similar, or something else, and it messed him up in the sense that it messed him up in the sense that when that royal got bored of him, he got thrown away, and he's just expecting Stolas to do the same, which again would prove me right about the whole he's projecting. He's taking out whatever this other royal did to him out on Stolas, who hasn't done these things to him.
Like you can just play with our feelings because we're smaller and not as important.
Play
Well,
with
I'm
our
not
feelings.
letting you, bitch. Let's go.
Also, Stolas flinched when Stolas flinched when Blitz yelled bitch.
Well, I'm not letting you, bitch. Let's go.
The let's go part makes me think Blitz. I keep doing that. I'm getting annoyed at myself. That Blitz was expecting a fight. I don't know why he was expecting a fight. Stolas spent this entire time walking away from him, hugging himself. I don't know what Blitz was expecting, honestly. Genuinely, I don't understand what he was expecting to happen here. But the let's go implies he was expecting some sort of fight. He was expecting some sort of bite back from Stolas. He wasn't expecting Stolas to just take this from him. He was expecting him to probably lash out, because how dare this poor insignificant imp yell at him, a royal. Again, projecting things onto Stolas. Also, I'm going to take the filter off for this part, because this is so important. Have to be able to see it. If we ever needed a confirmation that these glowing blue reds up here were also eyes and not just glowing eyebrows, there it is. He has 2 sets of eyes, and both sets of eyes are crying. That is how much this has hurt Stolas. So even if before all this, all they needed was a conversation or a handful of conversations to genuinely get over themselves and start actually talking and communicating, now there are genuinely hurt feelings that need to be need to be sorted through. And words is not going to cut it anymore. Because now, as Stolas put it himself, I think so highly of you, I didn't realize you thought so low of me. No amount of words is going to fix this now. And all I can think of is Stolas earlier in this episode saying about how he will believe Blitz over the voice in his head saying he's not good enough. Now this is what he has. That Blitz thinks so goddamn low of him. Stolas genuinely needs to get friends outside of Blitz. Blitz is not his friend, never was, but like, he perceived him to be a friend for a bit there, at least. He needs friends, he needs a romantic partner, he needs a sexual partner, he needs connections. I need him to have a partner. Honestly, like, have some more, like, go on a few dates, go have like sexual relationships with whoever, and then maybe if that bird dude is a romantic interest, absolutely like date him for a while. You know what I mean? Like, I need him to form connections outside of Blitz because he needs it. And I genuinely don't want them to fix this so easily. So I know the next episode is Apology Tour. That's it. Apology Tour. That should not be. This should not be fixed so easily. if this gets fixed in the next episode, BS. Absolute BS. It should not be able to be fixed that quickly, because these are genuinely destroyed feelings. Because again, earlier on he was saying he is worthy of your love and your trust. He is worthy of your love and trust. And this moment he realizes Blitz didn't even like him as a person. Never mind as a friend or in a romantic way or anything like that. He didn't even like him as a person. And this is the person you thought was worthy of your love and your trust. That would be heartbreaking. This is the moment where Stolas, like all of his little, all of like I was saying earlier about how Stolas was aware of some of the one-sidedness, but wasn't aware of all of it. This is the moment where his like ignorance shattered, and now he's aware of how one-sided this has truly been for emotional in the emotion sense since forever. Stolas has always had this good / high opinion of Blitz. That Stolas has always had a good opinion of Blitz. It's never been the other way around. Blitz has never had a good opinion of Stolas. And that's gotta hurt, and that's gonna hurt, and that does hurt. And I think it should continue to keep hurting for a while. This should not be an easy fix. Alright? It should not be. I know how sad and isolated he is, but he should form connections outside of Blitz. And we do see in the next episode he does start hanging out with Vrosika. So maybe? I don't know. I hope that like he becomes friends with Vrosika and gets to keep Vrosika, maybe like branch out from there. Maybe him and Ozzy actually become friends. Maybe him and that what you call him? Parish guy become partners, or become like romantic partners / sexual partners. Either way, like, this should not be an easy fix. It needs to, like, what I want is, even if they never, like, because I know they're endgame, so they'll eventually end up as an actual couple eventually. But there's a part of me that wants them to become like actual, like, genuine friends first. Friends first. You know what I mean? Again, it might be just like the arrowness in me, right? Valuing platonic relationships. But at the same time, it could just be that because of Stolas' like one-sided perspective of they were friends once, and Stolas and Blitz probably never had that opinion, never had that perspective. It makes me want them to at least be friends first. You know what I mean? At least this time, it's not just Stolas thinking there that they actually are friends. That I think would be a good start. You know, later, after these hurt feelings get worked through by both of them in different ways. But yeah, that's I don't know past that.
Stolitz, wait!
It is important that Blitz immediately realized that he needed to apologize for that, because we've seen Stolas or Blitz be a jackass before, and it never really occurs to him to apologize. The only other time we've seen him apologize was when it was Viscerali, and I think to Barbie Wire. The fact that he knew instantly, oh, I've genuinely like, stabbed him through the heart here. I need to say sorry for that. I need to apologize. The parallels of him being dropped off at the door, when the last time they truly have seen each other has been in Ozzy's, when Blitz just dropped Stolas at his door and drove away. So yeah. There's credits. So I've said it all already. I don't want this to be an easy fix. I need them to work through this slowly and maybe become actual friends first before they actually become a thing. Yeah. I don't know what I want from Blitz's side. I just know what I want for Stolas. And I want him to like form many, many connections. And I want to see more of Via. I want to see more of her. I want to see Stolas being with her again. Because like it seems like she still has some like abandonment issues going on. So so outro. I don't think I remembered to say like and subscribe, but please do if that is what you would like to do. Some of the pride. At some point, I'm going to do a video, mostly like a video on Ace Aeronus, not like of mine specifically. I don't think. I think I'll just like I'll look into it. I want more like Ace Arrow stuff. More visibility for that. Yeah, I've said it all really. It's like 2 a.m. I'm gonna just head to bed. Good night or good whatever time of day it is for you when you're watching this. Thanks for sticking around this long if you have. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things, please and thank you. And good luck to you all.